It's amazing what you learn having to do it yourself because it made me a lot more empathetic to Big and Dre. I wasn't no resentful artist. They didn't do everything they could do for me. That's stupid shit. They did, as artists, everything they could possibly do within their range. And then they hit the end of their range. They were still artists at their peak. And it wasn't until I got responsible for some other people that I understood, it's not easy being a boss. To be a boss, you gotta have a staff. And to have a staff, you gotta make payroll. And to make payroll, you gotta make profit. And if you're not making profit, you're not in business, you're just bullshit.
Now I will never be your hater, I'm your biggest fan. I hope it falls into place just how you planned it. Life could put you in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, you see the clip. Killer Mike, man. Like, you gotta learn to be a boss. And a lot of times people are saying that they're bosses and people want to have a boss mentality or whatever y'all think that is. But you have to be a boss, you have to be responsible enough to handle your business in such a way that your profit can help people who work for you, And a lot of times what you're seeing is people who don't really have a responsibility to other people, because if your team's winning, that means you're winning. And sometimes you're gonna have to take a loss while your team's winning to keep the momentum going, and then you get a windfall, basically. But a lot of y'all, think that there are a lot of people who aren't really bosses or in a boss position who think that the person that's their quote unquote boss is not really doing a good job. And if they were in that position, they would be so much better and do things so much better. And the truth is, you wouldn't. Because your boss deals with your personality. And you deal with your boss's personality, but you never ask the question, how many different personalities does the boss have to deal with? This hardworking people who just do the bare minimum, you got hardworking people, you got people who do the bare minimum, people who are trying to get over on the system, people who will work the hardworking person to death and get paid the same amount. And and while that person is getting worn out, they're like, and you're the boss, and you gotta put a stop to that. You got people who have these, can how can I say this? Can make your name respectable, and you got people who will make your name infamous. You got to learn how to navigate and adjust to, you giving me a bad reputation, you got to go. You give me a good reputation, you need a raise. And some of y'all, and I've seen this in life where we talk about this, what do you call that? The participation trophy generation, where, everybody deserves the world because they're alive, right? You have people who are like that on the job, who really don't do much, but they, you see all this hard work I'm doing. It's like, no, actually I don't. Actually I don't. You're just saying that you're working hard, but you're actually not working hard. And you see this. And because I saw another thing with, another clip with Lil Wayne talking about Baby and Slim, from Cash Money. And he said when he became basically the boss as far as Young Money is concerned with his own label, he was like, this is what Baby and Slim was having to do? Oh my goodness, I don't even know how they did it. I really don't know, because of course they made mistakes, obviously. Baby's mistakes are public record, right? But when you're in that position, now it's like, now I see. Because a lot of y'all don't know what it's like to be a boss until you become a boss. And it ain't what you think. Because just like there are good people in the world and there are bad people, There are good bosses and bad bosses. And a lot of y'all, and there are more bad bosses than good ones. And a lot of y'all wind up being a bad boss because you just wanted to be a boss. You know, so you got to learn how to be a boss. Sometimes on the fly, sometimes on the job. You know, some of y'all are bosses, and I hate to do it this way by saying it. Some of y'all learn how to be a boss by doing hoe shit. You know, y'all have a little network of people that you're cool with, so you look out for the people you're cool with. And if you're not cool with other people, you screw them over, and that's your way of being a boss. And then you wind up with all the people you're cool with, and then they basically sink your ship because they got cool with you to do absolutely nothing on the bare minimum, and you got cool with it because you wanted a flunky and a lackey, and to make you feel better. So guess what? You got to go down together. And others, their bosses, they're like, they do the right thing. They do right by their people, and their people work harder for them. They like no. He look out for me. I'm not finna jeopardize this man, this woman's spot. That's a boss. That's a real boss. Like when people go, okay. There's sometimes when people gotta get disciplined. Their head gotta roll. It's like, hey, a good boss will discipline you, and you like, yeah, I get it. I deserved it. A bad one, you'll be like, even if I deserved it, did you really have to do that? You were really just trying to humiliate me like that just for, oh, okay, this is what we doing? No problem. You got an enemy now. Bad bosses create enemies. You know, good bosses create a standard. You got to learn how to be a boss. A good standard, because what winds up happening is, and you see this in corporate America, if management changes, there are certain times when management changes and things get better, and then management changes and things get worse. Or management change, like I've seen good management leave, and new management come in and go, wait, so everything is working like this? Yeah, okay, we ain't changing nothing. We ain't changing nothing. Nothing. No thing, no, we're gonna do it exactly how they was doing, because this is working great. And then there are people who come in and they go, oh my God, I'm gonna change this because I'm gonna change this because y'all gonna do everything my way. And it doesn't work. And everything just gets worse. And then they get out of there. The Sandman comes. Somebody sweep them up out of there. And then you got people who change a bad culture to a good culture, and then it's like, yo, this is what we need, And I've seen good, and I hate to say this, but I gotta say this, as far as bosses is concerned, or even just management. It's so bad, in my opinion, from what I've seen over the years, that there are certain people who are great bosses and good managers, and what they do to them, they just move from place to place to place to fix stuff. And then they slide one of their friends in that place. So this place is a mess. We gonna send such and such. He gonna do it. Month goes by, everything's running smooth. Well, you know what? We can't give you that job. We gonna send you all the way over here. So who's going to this job? Oh, don't worry about it. One of their sorry ass friends. And they gonna look. That's how they put their friends on. Look, he gonna do all the heavy lifting. And just get there and do exactly what he already did. But guess what? You can't live like somebody else. So guess what? They screw that up too. And then that same person rotates back around again and again and again and again. But because they learned how to be a boss, and it's just now their bosses aren't good bosses. So, when you go high up the food chain, you realize some people just walking around just saying that they're important, and they're just not really good at anything, But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna take you.